Morning, everybody. We'll get going here in a minute. The live time driver morning radio show from a much warmer southern Ontario this morning on February the 10th, if we can believe this already, 2026, working our way closer towards springtime with a current temperature here in Oakville, Canada of a warm, balmy, beautiful 22 degrees, Jay, from the mobile radio compound on the live drive time radio show. Hit that like button, subscribe button so you don't miss any vital updates. Join me on Jabroni Killer's video description and or pinned comment. $3.99 a month. Help keeps these videos coming live every day, built for and by the retail trader and investor, the #1 cryptocurrency channel to keep you informed and on top of what's going on in the first half to 3/4 of the trading day on Monday. And the coins are started to give some of those gains back. Bitcoin at current price this morning was down about 1.5% at 68,900, just below $69,000. Ethereum was sitting just above $2,000, down 4% from yesterday because Ethereum had a pretty good run up yesterday after a big fall down. XLM is sitting at 15.5 cents or slightly higher. That's down about 2.5% today. And XRP sitting at 141. It's been floating between 138 and 146 over the last couple of days. And that's where we're going to watch out to see what happens throughout the week, as I think there's a lot of downside risk across the silver and gold bullion and across the cryptocurrency sphere, as we got some light snow falling here in southern Ontario on our way to work on the live drive time radio show. As you know, we're on 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, so we try to fit everything in into our busy day. You can see here, we're going to start right off with the XRP price, and you can see we're still sitting on that critical green line, that horizontal green line at $1.41. That is the 200-day moving average in the weekly time frame, right? And that's a very critical area of major support that it's sitting on, because it's broken down through a lot of support. And if it fails to hold that, you can see where it wicked down to about 2 weeks ago when it broke the 200-day. It got down to about $1.12 on its low, threatening to crash below $1 in XRP. And that's very likely, according to the gold standard, as we go to the next month or 2 or 3. I think we're crashing below $1 in XRP. I think we're crashing below 40,000 in Bitcoin. I think we're crashing below $1,000 in Ethereum. I think we're going below 9 cents in XLM. I think silver bullion is getting below $40. I think gold bullion is going down towards $3,500, as we have an orchestrated, manipulated collapse coming across the sphere. And you can already see it trapping the people in gold and silver bullion, just like it trapped retail 12 months ago in crypto, because they FOMO'd in at the all-time high. I believe that's coming in the gold and silver and the crypto sphere. And if you break this 200-day moving average, or when, I should rephrase that, you do break the 200-day and the weekly down there, you're going to crash below $1. But could you have some upside potential here in the short term, extremely short term? Absolutely. If you can continue to hold that $1.41, you could try to shoot up towards that 50-day in the daily up at $1.88, right? So that's what we're looking at here, the XRP. And the key critical thing to this market structure and the retail trader is you buy the bear market, where now you can't, you have to admit you're in a bear market in XRP, where you've went from $3.66, $3.70. You were sitting at $1.12 4 or 5 days ago. And I think you're going below $1. That's the gold standard free analysis there. You buy, I'm not a financial advisor, but you buy the bear market, right? When the coin's down 70, 80, 90% and nobody wants it, or let alone talk about it at work, in your social life, or the mainstream media or social media, that is when you accumulate. And those are the times that are coming. Good morning to you too, Crypto Cooter. Cooters in the house, right? Good morning to you. So that's the key critical thing that you always got to pay attention to. The same thing with the XLM price, the aforementioned XLM, that runs very, very close and similar to XRP, just at different price levels. I picked up some XRP at $1.44. In the long run, that's not a bad, it's not bad. That's better than buying at 366 or 266, not as good as 30 cents or 20 cents or 60 cents, but keep slowly accumulating like you're doing, Chris, on the way down. Don't buy all your bag. What is at $1.30, at $1.10, buy it on the way down. So you're averaging in on the way down, and the farther down it goes, the bigger of the amount you accumulate as it goes down farther. That's what the gold standard does, right? So very good philosophy by you. Buy the bear market, buy the dips, buy it on the way down, right? XLM's the same thing. You can see we're well below the 21 cents, which is the 200-day and the weekly, and that's what XRP is about to crash below, right? At 6:57 a.m. on February the 10th. Gold Standard Live, Drive Time, Mobile Radio, Compound Show, right? Market talk and money making. But 14 cents is your new critical short-term support. If you break the 14 cents, that's when you crash an XLM below 10 cents and make a legitimate run at 4 to 7 cents. And that's an area the gold standard's been targeting and talking about on these live drive time radio shows. But in the short term, if you can bounce and hold and stay above that 14.4 cents, you could make a real run at a 16 or 17 cents this week, maybe 18 cents as the upside potential. But that is a least likely the outcome in the short term right now. But I just want to let you be aware of that in case you do see some kind of a rally across the sphere, like short rallies, because they like to make them quick, but swift in a like a 6 or 8 or 9% move in the matter of 2 or 3 hours to make people think there's something bigger at foot when they just drop the hammer with the trap right after it, right? And you can see Ethereum. There's that blue support and resistance box. It starts at about $1,900. That's the support side of it. But the bottom side, on the bottom last line of support, is sitting down there at 1,021 and change-ish, right around there. And that's where the gold standard believes and thinks that this price is actually going to end up come to in Ethereum. And this is a critical level. And you can see it had a very nice prototypical textbook bounce off of the $1,800 level, or the top part of that support and resistance box. And coming from above, you would expect a bounce off of it, and you did. And that's an area that if you can stay above, you can make a run at 2,400. But if you get below it, like you wick down below it about a week ago and you come back down there and can't stay above it, and you end up getting back into that trading box, you will knife and fall like butter straight down, like off a cliff, an elevator, down to the floor. And the floor is about $1,021 at the bottom part of that support and resistance, right? And then the Bitcoin price, most importantly. Everybody loves the fucking Bitcoin price. You can see it's struggling to stay for DLRF above that 200-day in the weekly. It wicked down to about $60,050, just above 50. I don't think it hit 59,000 or sub 60, but it's going to soon. And you can see if we come back down and knife through that, you will knife through the $60,000 level, and you will knife extremely quick into the 50s and down to the 51,000, which is your next major support level. If you crash below and can't hold this 200-day. If you can hold the 200-day in the short term over the next week or two, you could try to make a run back up near the 50-day in the daily, which is sitting at around $85,000, right? But that doesn't seem to be the most likely scenario right now. The most likely scenario is what we've been watching. And welcome aboard there. I've noticed, yes, people still do trade this happy hounds trash, as some people call it. I call them the shit coins, baby. Shit coins! Right? And I've made it no bones about it, and that's why this channel is not bigger than it is. Happy Hounds is because I've called most of these shit coins since the very beginning when I started this channel, which isn't the most popular thing to do if you're trying to be a crypto, but we're crypto investing, and you must always remember that. And we just made a fortune off of mining stocks, right? At least a fortune for me. It was a very good trade. Made 250% on the portfolio. Biggest mover was Kinross Gold at 622%. Followed by Pan America Silver, Hecla Mining, Barrick Gold, right? Made 2 to 4X's on all those. Very, very good on our gold mining stocks. And now we're just waiting for another buying opportunity after a 6-year hold and sell. So that's all long-term capital gains. And long-term capital gains is a flat 15% tax. That's it. No federal, no state tax, none of that shit, right? Just a flat 15%. So if you make 100 G's profit on a 15% long-term cap gains, it's 15 G's and you get to keep 85 grand. If you make 100 grand and you're still there, yeah, you guys are still there. My screen timed out. But if you make 100 grand in your normal job, you got to pay 26% federal tax around that. And then you got your 6% Michigan state tax, and then your Social Security, your Medicaid, your this, your that, your Fagata, your Fugata, right? So you end up paying 35-36% tax total off 100 grand. So you're paying $36,000, right? Versus a flat 15 G's. So it's a very good trade that we did there. Stick with the gold standard. We're going to continue to give you the market analysis and updates and news that you need in order to successfully trade this market. As you do know, we're in a chronic dollar debasement world, in an inflationary environment that's been my whole life and will continue my whole life, as they will sacrifice local currencies no matter what country you're in order to inflate their local stock market, real estate market, equity markets to make people feel richer. This has been another live episode, and we're going to have to sign off here as we're pulling in slightly late to the work. So we're going to sign off here with the gold standard. We'll give you we're going to make another video later on today. Just not sure what time it is. Thank you for coming on board. Remember, this has been another live broadcast of Vincenzo's live mobile radio network, the morning live drive time radio show. We thank you for listening, joining, viewing, and engaging with the channel. There will be another live broadcast tomorrow, February 11th, 2026, 6:45 Eastern Gold Standard Time. Please follow us on Facebook, Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, #1 retail trader and investing site on Facebook. Become members of Jabroni Killers. $3.99 a month keeps these live videos going. Da-na-na-na-na.